Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rob Orson with the Emerging Revolutionary War. I am with Mark Malloy. Mark, as you can see, is bundled up. He's still in the Charleston, South Carolina way of life, which is the last place we were at about a month ago doing our bus tour, but now we're in Boston, and one of the most historic towns in America, and also this is the weekend, big weekend for the 250th anniversary of the destruction of the tea, or called today the Boston Tea Party. And we got here just a few hours ago, went to a pub, got some cigars. Now we're at Granary Burying Ground here in Boston. We're out on the Freedom Trail. For those who've been to Boston, you know the Freedom Trail is a great way to access dozens of historic sites in Boston. If you haven't been to Boston, you need to get up here. Hopefully it's going to get a little bit warmer, but we're bundled and we'll be ready for the weekend. The weather's going to be great. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about the Granary Burying Ground, where we are today, one of the most historic cemeteries in Boston. The Boston Massacre, John Hancock, Sam Adams. But we're also going to, later on today, go to the Boston Tea Party Ships Museum and meet with our good friend Evan there. And then after that, we're going to go to the Old South Meeting House and meet with the staff there. We'll be running videos at each of these spots today. So we have at least 3 videos we'll be bringing to you today. Then tomorrow, many more videos. And then, of course, Saturday's the big day, the anniversary. We'll be bringing you tons of videos. So if you're on Facebook, social media, catch us there. If not, later on, we'll be putting all these videos up on our YouTube channel. So let's give it to Mark. Mark was just here 3 years ago for the Boston Massacre anniversary. Yeah. About the same temperature as when you were here last time.
Yeah,
so Mark, we're going to walk you over to see Sam Adams and some of the Boston Massacre people that were buried here later on after the massacre, obviously years later. But let's walk on over and show him Sam Adams.
Well, yeah, you can follow us over this way. We thought this would be a fitting opening salvo here for us up here in Boston. And this is a great place where you can see the grave of Samuel Adams right over here. And he's buried right next to the grave of the Boston Massacre victims from March 5th, 1770. Also Christopher Sider, who was killed a couple weeks earlier. But this, last time we came to you live from Boston, it was 3 years ago, March 2020, and it was for the 250th anniversary of the Boston Massacre. So here we are 3 years later, and this is a great way to tie these two stories together. It's been a long time since that Boston Massacre occurred. Of course, when we were here in March of 2020, that was before COVID, so if you can imagine just the amount of time that has passed between March of 2020 and today, kind of gives you an idea of the amount of time that spanned back in 1770 and 1773. But by 1773, of course, if you've been following on the blog, you may have read Rob's post that kind of told you the whole story of how the tea had arrived here, and it was coming down to this moment where they were deciding what they were going to do. And Sam Adams plays a really important role as one of the Sons of Liberty. Sons of Liberty, of course, that was a very clandestine organization. There's not a whole lot of records or information about who was a part of it and how they organized and did all that other stuff, of course, because they didn't want anybody to know about it. But Sam Adams is going to play a role within that organization. And this is a great place to start off in Boston because we got Sam Adams here. John Hancock is buried on the large tombstone on the far end of the cemetery over there.
Dan, if you can zoom in, you can see that the Tea Party Museum is putting out these plaques.
Yes, the participants
at the
of the
graves,
Boston
participants
Tea Party.
of the Tea Party. Now it says architect. We don't believe Sam Adams is actually there at Griffin's Wharf. He's in Old South Meeting House. But we do believe that Sam Adams played an integral role in planning the events that happened on the evening of December 16th. So the museum's been putting these up across the globe. There are some people that participated in this that don't live in the United States that weren't buried here, so they have been traveling across the world putting these placards. A lot's not really known about them. They were, as Mark was saying, like the Sons of Liberty and other groups in Boston, they were very secret. They didn't want to be known to be out there on Griffin's Wharf. So only years later did their kids or grandkids bring it up. So a lot of this is based in oral history. But we're pretty sure Sam Adams had a pretty significant role in what happened in December of 1773.
And he was giving speeches at the Old South Meeting House that evening, probably largely to also give himself an alibi of where he was while the tea is being destroyed. So we're going to be coming to you live from some of these other sites tied into this, but it's great to be here in Boston. It's great to be in this historic city on this anniversary. I think the city's estimating that thousands of people are going to be coming down here on Saturday to see the reenactment of the Boston Tea Party on the actual anniversary. So stay tuned to our feed here. We're going to be doing videos like Rob mentioned over the next few days. If you want to learn more about Boston, these areas, Rob has written an awesome book with Phil Greenwalt called A Single Blow. Make sure you pick up a copy of that for your favorite person for Christmas. And if you're interested in joining us on one of these history tours, we're going to be back up here in Massachusetts in October, Columbus Day weekend. We're going to be doing Lexa and Concord. So all that information's on our website if you want to join us on one of these history tours. But we're all about making history fun, and we are your home for America's 250th anniversary. So thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned to us for the rest of the weekend.